Alright, this is going to be a bit of a different video, something I want to start doing normally. They just released the patch notes for 3.6, and this is the first time I'm having a look at them. Release 3.6, the Buck and Doe update. Update 3.6 brings new dinosaur updates, and more to Jurassic World Alive. What's new? Spawning improvements. Since we've noticed the lack of short-range spawns, we've made significant improvements to address this issue over the last few updates. Version 3.6 is no exception, as we've made important changes thanks to our community's countless feedback and reports. First, we've increased the short-range density when exploring in the wild to make it more likely that you will encounter these coveted dinosaurs. Short-range dinosaurs should also be spawning in every zone. Second, we've boosted the number of species and events in urban areas to ensure you always have something to interact with. Lastly, we've improved the variety of dinosaurs and events that spawn close to each other to ensure you always have a diversity of activities in your area. With that said, please note that all these spawning improvements will shuffle all players' maps once the update is live. In other words, points of interest, e.g. sanctuaries, supply drops, strike towers, etc., will change position on your map. While there is a significant element of randomness with the map shuffling, the overall intention is to improve the experience for as many players as possible. We hope these changes will make it easier for affected players to find short-range dinosaurs. Rest assured that our team is also working on addressing other long-term issues in the game. Thank you for your patience and stay tuned for more. New dinosaurs. I already know what all these are. Tapejara. It is a rare cunning, even though it has wound, so it's cunning fierce technically. It has evasive rampage, group afflicting strike, swap and wound, and instant distraction. Tyrannosaurus Buck, which is a legendary wildcard, and it has counter ferocity, group fierce strike, alpha intimidation, immobilize, and fierce devouring rampage. Now we have Doe. Tyrannosaurus Doe is a legendary cunning fierce, which has defense shattering counterattack, maternal roar, fierce double strike, greater nullification, and instant precise impact. We now have the unique cunning resilient Quetzal, which is a hybrid of Terra Quetzal and Tapejara, which has group afflicting impact, aerial dominance, alert harpy, wounding counter, safe arrival, and cunning strike. Then we have Griganith, which is a fierce apex, and it has healing fierce strike, fierce devouring rampage, crushing alert showdown, skewer, maximum ferocity, greater rending counterattack, and reinforce on escape, and it is a hybrid of Giganix and Gripelith. Oh, the information, okay, it's fine. Enhancement updates, okay. The following creatures now have enhancement tracks: Quetzal and Griganith. What's improved? Dinosaur updates. This is a big one. 15 changes. Diabloceratops, even though that's not how you spell it. So, Diabloceratops was below in its potential in the Omega ranks. We opted to give it some help with its damage multipliers, and armor buff granted by Survival Instinct. This should allow you to keep your Diabloceratops the way you trained it, just a little better at what it does best. Abilities: Leading Charge now attacks from 1.66 to 2 times, so it went from an impact to a rampage. Instant Crush used to attack for 2 times damage, and now it attacks for 2.5 damage, which is now a decimation. And Survival Instinct now increases armor by 25. Survival Instinct increases armor by 25%, and then it becomes 35% armor increase in the threatened state. Stegosaurus. Okay, we found that Stegosaurus had issues establishing his game plan during fights. We increased its initial critical damage to allow players to place additional points elsewhere. We've also improved its Emboldened to improve its critical chance. On the defensive side, we've improved its counter so it takes less damage on the next turn. They better be buffing if I swear to God. Abilities: Emboldened now increases crit chance from 25% to 50%, and they remove the delay from the move. Stunning vulnerability impact becomes stunning vulnerability rampage, and it goes from 1.66 times damage to 2 times damage. Distracting counter used to distract for 15% for 1 turn, 1 attack, and now it becomes 25% for 2 turns, 4 attacks. And the attributes: critical change went from 26 to 35. I had a feeling they would buff Ceratosaurus. I'm going to be honest. Oh, and it gains a group move. Are you kidding me? Bro. The Ceratosaurus had a singular problem, its inability to look at more than one creature at once. As such, we've given it an ability that allows it to bypass flocks, plus a bit of a stats jump. We've also changed the enhancement so it has more opportunities to use it. Heavy Strike becomes Group Heavy Strike. It gains 100 health, 100 damage, and 5% armor. And the Tier 5 enhancement is now at the end of turn if swap prevented. If swap prevention becomes at start of turn, opponent is wounded. Wait, what? If swap prevention becomes at start of turn. I'm confused. That's weird. That's really weird wording. Koreanosaurus had some issues surviving when facing other creatures of its rarity, so we decided to give it some help. And it's in this department. I really need to slow down reading. Unstoppable Force has a chance to grant you free turn. An instant Shielded Strike will help with the Koreanosaurus' ability in the fray. Abilities: Instant Shielded Strike now heals 10%. I'm going to guess that's 10% of the damage you deal. And then Unstoppable Force now has a 50% chance to stun for one turn and gains 5% more armor overall. Yushosaurus has very tiny changes to a creature. Very tiny changes to a creature could be problematic if we went a bit stronger, so we'll be closely monitoring this one. Payback Rampage will now do 50% more damage per use, and we've added 25% more damage reduction resistance, so it has an easier time pushing damage through. Abilities: Payback Rampage now attacks as a decimation for 2.5 from 2 times, and damage reduction resistance went from 50 to 75. Are they pretty much buffing all the Omegas? I just realized. Geosternbergia. Okay. The Geosternbergia was supposed to be a trained terror of the skies, but the only thing it terrorized were squirrels. It gains a group buff and a new ability. Its signature Dive Bomb ability gains a chance to stun for one turn. We've also upped its starting stats, allowing you to spend more points elsewhere. Abilities: Flying Ferocious Strike becomes a T move instead of Self. Fierce Impact changed into Dispersed Fierce Impact, and Dive Bomb was now added with a 50% chance to stun for one turn. Attributes: it now gained 200 attack and 45 damage. Great, they're buffing Australotitan. I'm actually pretty happy with this. I love Australotitan. Australotitan lacked the imposing nature this tower needed. The stun component of Titanic Takedown has been improved, and we've given it additional team support with group shattering regenerating impact, plus a higher base damage rate. Abilities: Shattering Regenerating Impact changed to Group Shattering Regenerating Impact. Titanic Takedown was improved to gain 25% more chance to stun for one turn, and Regenerating Alert Dominance was then changed to heal self from 50% to heal the team for 50%, and the damage up by 120. Wait, they're buffing Plateorex? Okay, so I think they're just fixing it. Unfortunately, the Plateorex broke the rules of engagement when it was first released. We found that its swap and attack did not lock it down for 2 turns like every other creature with such an ability. This has been fixed. Everything else about this Apex remains the same. And no, they're nerfing Thylos! No, bro! They better not be nerfing Thylos! No! I'm actually upset. I'm not lying. Yeah, Bulwark Alert now locks down in threatened state and secured. No, they're nerfing it. I already know they are. The Thylos Intrepidus has been devastating since its rebalance a few months back. We need to rein it in a little bit. Swap and Shouting Prout will now perform its attack before the buffs come in, making it less dangerous for the opposing creature currently on the field. Okay, that's not as bad, but that's... Come on. It still sucks. It has a 1x swap in now. Are you kidding me, bro? Antarctic Venator. We found the Antarctic Venator was underperforming. It now has a group attack to fight off flocks. We also gave it a few more points of speed and attack. As a final little treat, this friendly force of nature finds its enhancement enhanced. Wow, really? I would never have imagined. Cunning Strike changed to Tough Group Cunning Strike, and Revenge Instant Ferocity was turned into Vengeful Ferocious Distraction. It then gains 3 speed and 100 extra damage. And its enhancement is now increased speed by 15%. Increased speed of self by 15%. Wait. Oh, wait, no, they're increased by 15 to 25. Okay. I can't read for whatever reason. One of the oldest legendaries of Jurassic World, Monostegotops, needed an update. We completely revamped its kit, starting with the replacement of Distraction with Cunning Strike, and an upgrade to its Stunning move, in addition of an On Escape and a counter from the Monolophosaurus family, and a substantial stat and resistance increase. Excuse me. Distraction becomes Cunning Strike, Greater Stunning Impact becomes Greater Stunning Rampage, and Group Decelerating Impact becomes Group Resilient Impact. So it's lost the ability to decelerate, right? Added Dig In on Escape and Nullifying Counter. Attributes, health was increased by 500 and attack was increased by 250. Resistances, added swap prevention resistance to 100, armor reduction resistance to 50, and armor reduction to 50 and damage reduction to 50. I literally said last night in my video I wanted Dakota Raptor to be buffed because it sucks. The Dakota Raptor hasn't been revisited in a bit, and keeping an eye on it showed us it may need a little bump. Dakota Raptor gains a counterattack that gives it a damage increase as well as a health and attack buff. Interesting. Swap prevention resistance should also grant it the ability to skip out when the going gets rough. Distracting Rampage was changed to Group Distracting Rampage. That's a good one. It now has a great turn 1 and gained Counter Ferocity. So now it's now a Fierce Cunning or Cunning Fierce. Health increased by 150, damage increased by 150, and now it's immune to swap prevention as well as I think damage and crit decreased. I think. Schoolosaurus. The Schoolosaurus fell victim to a bit of normalization issues as its rampage should have had a delay of 1 from the start. We've given it a little bit of a critical chance percentage to help it along. Outside of that, no changes to this creature, but we're keeping an eye on it nonetheless. Group Distracting Rampage now has a delay of 1, so never mind, it's now, okay. And crit increased by 10%. Rativates. The Rativates dodge wasn't triggering as much as we hoped, leaving it a sitting duck in the arena. Offensive stance, moving it up to 75% dodge to help it on that front. Rativate's small attacks multiple times strategy was not delivering as many wins as we thought it would, so all the damage multipliers on those abilities have been increased. Offensive stance has its dodge chance increased from 50 to 75. Shattering Triple Jab now attacks from 33% to 50% each time, so it's going to be it's now an impact. Yeah. And Jab and Weave is now an impact where it attacked for 1.5 before, and now it attacks for 2x damage, okay? And its crit chance up by 5%. That's it. The Spinosuchus hasn't seen much action since its heyday. It gains a damage-lowering counter as well as additional help to keep it alive with the modern creatures of Jurassic World alive. It loses critical impact to disperse fierce impact. Okay, yeah, that's good for it, which should allow more constant damage due to bypassing several mitigation methods. Abilities: Fierce Strike changed to Precise Piercing Strike, Critical Impact changed to Disperse Fierce Impact, and now has Distracting Counter, so that distracts for 15%. I know that for a fact. And its health increased by 250. Okay, yep. Leading Charge is now 2 times damage from 1.66. 1.66. Instant Crush is now 2.5 from 2. Is now 2.5 damage from 2. Survival Instinct now increases 35 instead of 25%. Embolden now increases critical chance by 50% instead of 25. Distracting Counter now reduces damage by 25% instead of 15%. Now they're power creeping Ref even more because Ref has a terrible counter. Instant Shielded Strike now additionally heals by 10% of the creature's max HP. Wait, what? What creature had that move? I forgot. Unstoppable Force now has a 50% chance to stun all opponents. Payback Rampage now does 2.5 times damage from 2. Ferocious Flying Strike now buffs the whole team. Titanic Takedown now has a 75% chance to stun. Regenerating Alert Dominance now targets the entire team with the attack and armor buffs and heal. Swap and Bulwark Alert now inflicts lockdown for 2 turns on self when executed in both secure and threatened states. Swap and Shattering Prowl will now perform its attack before buffing itself. The attack will thus no longer benefit from the buffs. I hate how they nerf Thylos, honestly. Group Distracting Rampage now has a delay of 1, bringing it in line with its non-group version. Offensive Stance now grants 75% dodge instead of 50, and now grants 33% crit chance instead of 25%. I can't read. I have a stutter. I hate it. Shattering Triple Jabs, 3 attacks now do 50% damage times 3 instead of 25%. Jab and Weave's 2 attacks now do 1x damage 2 times instead of 75%. Dive Bomb now has a 50% chance to stun. Lord have mercy. I hate this update. I really do. Some pesky bugs have been squashed for 3.6. Here are a few of the most notable fixes that you're most likely to enjoy, or you are likely to enjoy. When a dinosaur is inflicted with the affliction status, the number of remaining turns should now be properly displayed. Constrictor Raptor's ability icon should now correctly reflect their behavior when under the revenge state. The game should no longer soft lock after accessing your collection from AEP reset token. You should be able to properly max out Sin Raptor's HP when spending training points in these stats. In raids, minions being revived at the start of a new round should now correctly appear in the initiative track. We are currently working on solutions for the following issues. In the Battle Pass screen, the collection reward button may fail to bring you to the next collectible reward. In the Battle Pass screen, pressing the collect reward button may create an issue with the top part of the user interface. The friends list might sometimes appear blank for players with a large number of friends. Friendly challenges cannot be started. Video ads can't be played for free daily incubators. The map will sometimes stop following the player's movements when walking. In rare instances, flying dinosaurs can be seen flying backwards on the map. On a note on data collecting, we'd like to take a moment and thank everyone who has been participating in our numerous surveys and providing us with constructive feedback on our forums and social channels. We believe in player feedback, and although changes rarely occur immediately, the very tangible data we collect, especially from our surveys, help guide us on our roadmaps and future optimizations. And that's going to have to conclude update 3.6. Still I'm extremely disappointed that they haven't buffed Ref. I really am. But they are introducing Graganith, so when and if I unlock Graganith in the near future, I'm either going to replace Ref or Pantherator, but most likely Ref. But Thylos getting a nerf, that really does suck. And that only sucks, in my opinion, because I love Thylos. It's one of my favorite creatures, and not because it has great damage potential and it's, quote, broken, unquote. It's just, I've always liked Thylos Intrepidus ever since its release. And you can go back to my prior videos and you can see that, because I used to use it back when it was first released, when it only did 60% rend and all that stuff. Yeah, that's gonna have to do it. That's gonna have to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, as it helps the channel and me out a lot. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hydrated, stay safe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.